Hey, loves, and welcome to episode 4 of 365 Days of Healing with Meek. Okay, hope y'all are doing well out there today, and everybody has had a beautiful Wednesday. These days be creeping up on me, and oh my gosh, it's crazy. But yes, and if you're listening to this on another day, whatever day that may be, just hoping that you have had a beautiful day and everything has pretty much went the way that you wanted it to, right? But with that being said, let's get into this topic for this evening, okay? So, prompt that we are writing about tonight is reflecting upon your family. How do they shape your life? So, what I said is, my family serves as the initial and most profound influence of my life, on my life. They have been the fundamental blueprints for my identity, my values, and how I deal with people. I would say for myself, just hearing stories about how I was when I was younger, and from the things that I can remember, I have always been helpful, outgoing, just somebody that people normally gravitate to. And I haven't met anyone really that I could say that just was like, girl, I just don't like you. Like, I've never had that. Of course, you do know that sometimes you have haters that are disguised as people that say they love you and they like you and whatever else, but it don't really be like that. But my discernment has always been pretty high from what I could say because my family has given me examples. I've seen things, heard things, just a lot of different things that allow for me to be able to become who I am today. Also, I learned about unconditional love, conflicts, and how to resolve those conflicts, and then also having shared responsibility. Unconditional love has come from my immediate family, of course, especially my mom. Unconditional love is just something that I feel like, of course, every parent is going to show their child, no matter what happens, no matter what kind of relationship you may have with your child. Unconditional love is just something that comes from a parent, grandparent, just that immediate circle of people, that you resonate with, where your blood comes from. And then conflicts and conflict resolution, sometimes, of course, we have those moments where we got to turn up. We have those moments where you have to look the other way. Have those moments where you're going to cry, you're going to be upset. It's going to be a whole bunch of different things. But learning to regulate those emotions from looking at the people around you, how they handle things, when they're upset, when they're happy, when they're sad. Of course, all of that to me is learned behavior on top of the type of person that you just are naturally. And then also shared responsibility. Within my family, I feel like all of us have strived to have love. All of us have strived to, have a family unit. Whether a lot of our families actually look like that, we have some people that are single, some people that are married, some people in situationships, just whatever. But that shared responsibility to me comes from a place of love and understanding when I'm looking at the couples in my life, partner being my grandparents, my mom and my dad, my aunts and uncles. Again, those immediate family members that I communicate with on a day-to-day basis. Looking at how they work together or how they don't work together, how they discuss finances or how they don't discuss finances, who takes care of this, who takes care of this, and who takes care of that. Those things are all important things to be able to look at and see examples of, especially when you're growing up and becoming an adult. Because, of course, most of us want to have children. You have to come home, and especially if you're in a partnership, it's supposed to be a lot of shared responsibility. Nothing is supposed to be one-sided. And then next, I said the dynamics, the traditions, and the spoken or unspoken rules of my family have taught me crucial lessons in communication, resilience, and emotional intelligence. Woo. Like I said, these prompts be really bringing out, a lot of feelings, a lot of different things that I have going on in my head. Putting it on paper, I just be like, girl, you be talking some stuff sometimes. But with that being said, yes, the dynamics, traditions, spoken and unspoken rules. I've learned crucial lessons in communication, dealing with family members a lot. Again, that is teaching you the core things that you're going to be able to take out into this world on how you deal with people and situations. Resilience. Of course, given what I'm going through now, why per se I am actually doing these videos to add on to my healing journey. This is a part of my resilience. And seeing something quote that really struck with me was just like, you are not just a woman, you are a weapon. Ooh, let me tell you, God placing these situations on me just lets me know that I'm strong. I feel like when you don't go through things, you don't grow. And instead of me taking this and going into a woe is me moment, I have taken this and I have told myself that I was going to do better. I was not going to let this situation break me. I was going to continue to be a great mom to my children. Now, yes, I have my flaws. I do not do everything right. I make mistakes on a daily basis, especially when it comes to parenting. I'm still working through trauma, childhood trauma, teenage trauma, adulthood trauma. All of that stuff comes into play with our day to day, how our minds are working. Again, the way that we're dealing with things, right? Emotional intelligence. Me being able to voice to my children or whoever I'm talking to how I may be feeling at that moment. Yes, I may blow up sometimes. I know that I do. That is something that I am working on because, it doesn't take yelling and cursing and whatever else to be able to get your point across. But again, that is just what some of us are used to. But I feel like emotional intelligence is very important because if you're dealing with someone or even being yourself, you don't have emotional intelligence, it's very hard for you to communicate. It's difficult for you to be able to put your emotions and your feelings into words, and that can become a very big issue, especially when you start talking about you're going to be in a relationship with someone, have children, work a job, own a business, stuff like that. All of that stuff ties in together: resilience, communication, and emotional intelligence. Three things I feel like a lot of us need to start taking more care and more heed into building stronger than what we are, because communication skills definitely get you far. Resilience definitely gets you far. Emotional intelligence definitely gets you far, right? And then last thing I said was my family has shaped how I make decisions and navigate my relationships through life. Particularly, again, I've watched my grandparents, my mom and my dad, and then my aunts and my uncles, like I said, people that are in my life that I deal with on a daily or weekly or however that may look like. The decisions and navigating relationships throughout my life. Like I said, looking at the way that they are together or separated or whatever may have you, it allows you to be able to form different opinions about different scenarios, different things that you're going to go through. And I, for one, like I said, I can always say I'm thankful for my family. We're not perfect, and like I said again, we have our flaws, but the love is there. The support, the lessons that I learned and definitely do not take for granted. I just feel like it's important for you to be able to reflect on your family and the values that you all have and be able to say, yeah, like, um, it's not like I never learned anything from my family. I just have to take those things that I have learned and implement them into my everyday life. And I feel like for anyone, that's going to take you far. So with that, thank you for tuning in. Of course, we will be back here again tomorrow night. And have a great evening. Hope everybody sleeps well. And bye, loves.